Hello, it's Reija and it's time for another video. Today I'm going to review The Psychology of Time Travel by Kate Mascarenhas. I am part of a blog tour that is hosted by Head of Zeus, the publisher, and I am going to give you my full thoughts on this book. So without further ado, let's get started. The Psychology of Time Travel takes place in 3 separate timelines. The first one focuses on the invention of time travel and the logistics of working out how time travel works as an occupation. The second one focuses on the relationship between a granddaughter and her time-traveling grandmother. And the third one is all about a murder investigation considering a mysterious Jane Doe that appears to have been killed with time travel involved. And all these different storylines help paint the full picture of the narrative. And that is pretty much how the book operates. It gives you kind of glimpses into these different women's lives, and the longer you read and the further along the narrative you go, the more pieces of the puzzle you have in your disposal. I found the book to be immensely readable and I pretty much devoured it in 2 days. I really loved the introspection. This book is extremely character driven. The world building actually sometimes feels a bit secondary. The characters don't really interact much with the external world outside of a few key plot points. The book is all about character interactions and how these characters deal with other characters and how they view things internally. And this book also speculates a lot what would happen to people if they time traveled a lot. This book speculates about psychological toll, workplace culture, etc. And I loved it. It was really fascinating. I loved the care that Kate Mascarenhas has put into this world. The author has thought about the psychology that's in the title. She's thought about the slang that would be adopted in a few decades and the workplace culture, how difficult workplace culture is to change. And it was just a wonderful read. The murder mystery made me want to keep going. I wanted to know what was happening. I was speculating about who done it, and it was just marvelous. I also liked the writing style. It was very to the point. Mascarenhas doesn't at all waste time setting things up. You just dive right into the story, and the world building and the character building kind of follows organically. She kind of makes very broad paintbrush strokes at the beginning and then just builds on that. And it was a very poignant and wonderful reading experience. And I actually want to go back and read it again. There was also a lot of intertextuality. She name drops Tiptree and Butler among many sci-fi authors. There are quotes from Box of Delights by John Masefield, which I personally haven't read, but after reading this book, I actually want to go and read the Box of Delights so that I can then reread this book and have a better understanding of the narrative purpose. So all in all, this was so much fun. My only complaints really were the kind of superfluous world building, and that some of the characters don't really feel as fleshed out as some others. But other than that, this was such a well executed story. It kept you as a reader on your toes. It gave you just enough information to want to keep you going, And also it didn't give you all the answers, so there are a little bit of open-endedness in the book, which is perfect in my opinion. I absolutely loved this story, and I would highly recommend it to anyone that's a fan of really introspective narratives and kind of heavily speculative fiction that is all about kind of theorizing instead of giving you straight answers. I really loved it. And I also loved that there is a glossary of time traveling slang and all these psychological tests at the end of the book. They were a really nice touch, and I found myself kind of role-playing a time traveler and doing those tests for myself because they were really fun. So there you have it. This has been my review of The Psychology of Time Travel by Kate Mascarenhas. It is out now, and I hope you will read it. Tell me in the comments if you are interested in this book. And if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!